Ooh. Uh-oh. Ta-da! Hello, I am Eric Perkins, and this is my weekly vlog. This week, I'm talking about creativity and where I get the ideas for new paintings and drawings. If you're a subscriber, welcome back, and if you're not subscribed, I hope you choose to do so by the end of this video. I often create illustrations or paintings of characters, monsters, settings, and events that are either purely fictional or mostly fictional. If you're looking at my work, you might maybe ask yourself, where do these ideas come from? Or you might think to yourself, they'd probably go crazy if that stuff was in your head. I've actually had people say stuff like that to me. So in this video, I'm going to kind of tell you about where some of this stuff comes from. And I don't think it's driven me crazy, but I am kind of biased. So I often borrow ideas or concepts or get inspiration from other writers, artists, and filmmakers. I sometimes get inspiration from things that I dream about, and we covered that last week. So if you haven't watched my dreams video, you might want to do that. I almost never copy another artist directly. Most of my work is completely my own, or it has some element that is either inspired by or borrowed from another artist's work. Now, sometimes I create fan art, which will utilize a character or a setting that's based in a commercial work, such as when I created my No Man's Sky watercolor painting. It was fan art from the No Man's Sky game, so I used some things that kind of exist in that game and made some others up to express kind of like what I felt was like my experience of the game. I've also done this with Fallout and some other things. But basically, I use something that does exist in a popular work, and then just kind of like, do my own thing with it. That's what fan art is. I did say earlier that I almost never copy another artist, and the times that I will do that are when I'm doing a master study. I did one master study in art school, and I'll put that up on the screen here so that you can see it. I'm going to try to put up both the master work and my drawing. So my assignment there was to copy the image as well as I could in black and white, getting the values in place to duplicate the work. And if you look at it closely, you'll see that it's not a perfect replica, but it does get the main concept. Another time that I kind of copied an artist was in my Inktober work for 2018 on the chicken prompt. I actually lifted a composition from Frank Frazetta, and I will put that image up along with my chicken, so you can see that the composition is basically the same, but the art itself is completely different. But there was something about that painting that I just, even I wasn't looking at the painting when I came up with the idea, but I had like the remembrance of it in my mind, knowing that's the one I wanted to use. So I did look it up and then copied the composition for the chicken drawing. So as a child, I read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi and occult books. Later on in like my high school years, I read into mythology of Greeks and Romans and Norse. Then right around like in my 20s, I kind of stopped reading as much as I used to. Then as I got into around my 20s, I got access to computers. And when I started getting access to computers, I'd watch more videos and play more games. So over time, between the books and the movies and the games that I've, I don't know, consumed, I guess you could say, I've basically built up a huge mental library of reference material about like what things should look like and what, like, how things are. And so that reflects in my work. And if I need to, I'll go back and reference something, but I've got all these general ideas built up over time that I use in my work. I'm a fan of several well-known artists that create fantasy and sci-fi art, including Frank Frazetta, Simon Bisley, Michael Whalen, Brahm, Boris Vallejo, Louis Royo, Larry Elmore, and there are either lesser-known or non-professional artists that inspire me as well. In fact, some of them I follow on Facebook and Instagram and DeviantArt. Some of my current work is a visual representation of my experiences playing Dungeons and Dragons. For instance, the Kingdom Lock Inspector drawing that I'm working on in this video is a representation of a scene that occurred in a game where I was playing my halfling rogue, and he was trying to pick the lock on a secured building that was kind of like a guard or like city police lockup type thing. And so there was a guard inside the building that actually opened the door while my character was trying to pick the lock. So the guard looks down and he's surprised to see somebody there. And he says, "Well, who are you?" And my character says, "Oh, I'm the Kingdom Lock Inspector." The Beast is the other picture I'm working on in this video. And the Beast is based on the writings of one of the admins or moderators from my D&D Discord group. His online name is Baz. And so Baz wrote this piece about these adventurers traveling into the lair of the Beast. And they had a clumsy moment along the way where they broke their lantern against a rock. As they traveled, the lantern ran out of oil, then died. So they lit a torch, and all of a sudden they're confronted with this monstrosity. And of course they drop the torch in fear and surprise, and that torch ignites the trail of lantern fuel. So there's this eerie, fiery illumination in this lair that kind of adds to the horror of the Beast. I am trying to get these videos done on Wednesdays and then released to the public on Fridays. I am creating them every week, and I'll continue to create them every week until I run out of things to talk about. If you enjoyed my video, please click the like and subscribe buttons, and if you click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. I do want to mention that you can gain early access to my videos. As I said, I'm going to be uploading them on Wednesdays, so my patrons get access to them on Wednesday, and they go public on Friday. Also, my patrons get exclusive downloads of my art, so when I finish these pieces, they get to download the high-resolution files. Also, they get a monthly newsletter where I talk about whatever I was creating in the month and some of the stuff that's going on in my life. And they also get credit in my videos and my print productions. So if all that sounds like something you might be interested in getting, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/EricNMIPerkins. My membership is only $3 a month to get everything that I listed. The support of my patrons, it helps me to maintain my art supplies, and it also has the potential to allow me to create full-time. If you're interested in buying merchandise with my art printed on it, you can check out my Pixels page. Also, if you like my art and you want to see more of it, you can check out my other social media. So thank you again for watching my video, and a special thank you to all my patrons. I'm going to shout you out now. We've got Carol and Martine Ramirez, Kathy Haney, and Bob and Debbie Zavara. I just want to say thank you to my wife, who helps me to get all kinds of things done and makes a lot of this possible. I hope to see everybody in the next video.